Between the enrapturing fight scenes, Frieren Beyond Journey's End tends to meander through the soothing landscapes and humble villages of its world, drinking in the finer details as we journey. And with 28 episodes in the first season, one of Frieren's greatest strengths is that it's able to take a gentler, more patient approach to storytelling. Something I think we can all appreciate.
Brother.
I have a problem. And it's not a pretty one. No. I have a YouTube Shorts problem. I don't quite know how many of you guys can relate, but it feels so easy to just lose hours and hours doom scrolling on any given day. I mean, I get it, it's designed to be addicting, but man, when you step back and really take a look at what you're spending your time doing, it's fairly terrifying.
You are my sun. You
are my sunshine.
This video is coming out much later than I anticipated, and it's because I've been droning around Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts like a zombie for these past few weeks, succumbing to the brain rot. I was thankfully able to pry myself off of my phone for a moment though, and instead stuck myself in front of a TV to watch this new anime they've got out about mortality and the passage of time. Frieren. And let me tell you man, this shit's good. So good that it may just have saved me from the vicious brain rot cycle. And I know what you may be thinking. What on earth does Frieren have to do with brain rot on TikTok? Well, above all else, both Frieren and Brainrot YouTube Shorts make me think about the same one thing. The passage of time. As I wade my way through dozens of shorts, the growing amount of time I'm wasting piling up is almost palpable, and usually is what finally snaps me out of my trance. Sometimes I feel like I just lose significant portions of my day to it, wondering where all the daylight went. But beyond the fact that these shorts are a black hole of time, they also just straight up make me feel old. I'm supposed to know what in the heck a skibbity toilet is? No way! I'm 19 and these Gen Alpha trends mark the first time in my life where I'm part of a generation that's making jokes about how they don't understand these modern youngsters. There's an entire generation of people younger than me who are beginning to develop cultural sensibilities that I find downright bizarre. I mean, I can't be the only one feeling like I'm shaking my walking stick at the kids down the street for playing their weird electronic music so darn loud. It's like I'm an old hag. Which brings us back to the lovable Frieren, whose character is greatly affected by her staggering age. Being over 1,000 years old in a world largely populated by regular people with regular lifespans, Frieren grows into a somewhat cold but patient woman. Her scope for what a lot of time is varies from the average person, so she thinks very little of waiting excessive amounts of time to do things. 50 years for her is just a blip, and she sleeps into the late hours of the morning because she's just in no hurry. This is in some ways a great advantage as it allows her to take her time, but it makes her struggle even more with her greatest weakness. Her second greatest weakness. Her inability to be emotionally present and face her feelings as she's experiencing them. Her life is on such a large scale that she's become accustomed to being able to put things off until decades later, and this includes processing and working to understand emotions she's feeling in a given moment, hence her perceived coldness. Now, pardon my crudeness, but this goofy old elf is quite literally me. Sleeping in long past reasonable hours, shirking all your problems off to deal with later, being neither happy nor sad but merely stuck in a droning neutral, she hits the brain rot mindset right on the hollow, empty head. And Frieren does really have every excuse to be this way. Not only does she lack the fire under her to make the most of her life that humans have, but she's also powerful enough to just skate on by. Yet, rather than doing the medieval fantasy equivalent of watching YouTube Brainrot shorts till the end of her days, Frieren decides to make a change. In a defining moment of commitment to not only herself, but others, she decides to face her emotions and finally starts truly taking advantage of her life. Well, depending on who you ask. Another elf by the name of Serie harshly scolds Frieren's lack of ambition, seeing her as merely rotting, slowly losing her potential as she edges closer to the end. This criticism of Frieren's ambition is somewhat hilarious considering that Frieren defeated the Demon King in one of the most important battles of all time, yet it still totally makes sense. Her experiences on her legendary journey certainly helped define and shape who she is today, but at the same time, it's clear that she was never a warrior first. Have you guys ever heard that quote that the Joe Rogans tend to throw around? It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Well, that doesn't really apply to a gardener with a magic watering can that can nuke people. After the Demon King is slain, life doesn't just stop for everyone, it carries on. And as a gardener, Frieren is more well-equipped than most to live in a new era of peace, hence the frustration and subsequent criticisms from her detractors. Despite her near immortality, the humble elf remains fairly down to earth, spending much of her life merely seeking out quirky grimoires and living alone. It's never her grounded lifestyle which causes her dissatisfaction, nor is it anything she suffered in the heat of battle, but when she first felt the cold reality of the passage of time. The passing of Himmel the hero is the single most important event in Frieren. Hell, to the extent where the show tells the date in relation to it like it was the coming of Christ or something. Frieren laments that she never really knew anything about him. She knows she should have used her time with him much better and truly savored it, deciding to make the aforementioned effort to live her life more to the fullest, soon taking on Fern as an apprentice. Aww. In many ways, Frieren is a story about saying goodbye. Moving forward, but carrying on the legacy of that which you've lost in your heart, and passing on what they taught you to the modern generations of the world. It's terrible that Frieren had to feel the cold sting of loss to snap her into reality, but throughout her journey, she gradually grows into a person that I can aspire to be like. This is especially the case considering how grounded of a character she is. Frieren's master, Flame, taught her the virtue of humbleness, and the beauty of the fleeting as symbolized by her fields of flowers, appreciating what's here and now as opposed to some grandiose moment of accomplishment down the line or in the past. This mindset of humbleness pays dividends to Frieren over the course of this show in battle, for example, but it's her beautiful journey that we tag along for with her, Fern, Stark, and others that acts as living proof that whatever she's doing is working. A modest existence within the moment is just as valuable. So at the risk of coming off as preachy, I consider this video to be a cautionary tale. To those stuck in that same YouTube Shorts / Instagram Reels / TikTok rabbit hole or any other similar leech of time in your life, know that the sting of regret is coming, but that's okay. You're never in too deep, and Brainrot doesn't literally rot your brain. I don't want to go all Serie... Damn it again! I don't want to go all Serie and say that you must be productive 24/7, constantly grinding towards your dreams, or you'll surely grow to be old and miserable. No. It's just important to keep in mind that we do only have so much time here, so make sure you don't use it doing things that you don't want to do. That's just what Frieren reminded me, and I'd like to pay it forward. Or just do whatever you want. I'm some 19-year-old kid who unironically really likes Digital Circus. The point of this video is that you guys should all go watch Digital Circus. Special thanks to Karta, B, Sumgoon, Trey, Hermit's Nook, and Artemis Locke for all the support on Patreon. You guys are my sunshine. Have a good day, y'all. Like and subscribe.